All right. So if you're getting out the military and you're looking to start a business, here's three things, guys, that I learned that I wish somebody would have definitely told me. My name is Joe Malone, former Marsoc Marine, and I run JM Training in Lethality University now, training local members, men and women, how to be safe against violence, usually through firearms training. All right, guys. The first lesson that I wish somebody would have told me was that comparatively to the rest of the people around me, and in any industry, I am a much harder worker. I don't know you. I don't know your background. I don't know what your drive levels are, what your motivations are, but I can tell you guys this, that if you have a half decent military work ethic, you probably already outwork 95% of the people out there. You just have to stay honest with yourself and true to yourself and do the things that you know you're supposed to be doing when you do them, and you will outperform everybody immensely, except for like the top 5% people, especially the top 1% people. But that's good because that's where you want to be. Push yourself even harder. Now, the second thing I wish somebody would have told me is that it takes so much longer than you think it's going to take. And it takes so much more of everything, really. You know, when I thought that I was marketing and advertising, well, I printed off 100 flyers. And then I heard Alex Hormozy talk about a similar story. He printed off 100 flyers, and he said the other guy printed off like 300,000 flyers for the first 3 days or something crazy. And so you need to do more or expect more of everything. Time, it's going to take not 2 years, but 10 years. Okay. And not say you can't mitigate that, but generally speaking, at least in my experience, every time that I gained traction and I was like moving very fast and rapidly, which has happened many times in the last 5 years, oh man, it just would, you don't even see yourself tripping over yourself because of your inability to handle that next level of stuff. So, more time, more money, for marketing, and just more of everything. Always give more, expect to do more. If you think you're doing enough, you're probably only doing 1/10. All right. The third thing that I wish somebody would have definitely told me: when you are starting your own business, you are going to need help from a lot of different people. And those people are going to fucking screw you over. It's insane. You would not believe the stories of the things that I have been through and what I've experienced in business so far. I've been ripped off by some hippie chick because I asked her to like send an email on like Friday at 5 p.m. or something for like my taxes. She just took my money and never really made anything for me. I've been ripped off by dorky account executive, like bookkeeping dudes. I've been ripped off by publishers. I've been ripped off by like everybody that a friend just stole all of my money, all of everybody's money, busted by the SEC. It's like nuts. My point to this, guys, is that you should really have a solid vetting process for anybody who you do work with. And I thought that I had one because I had just spent my whole life reading people, right? Deploying into combative zones overseas and operating at the highest levels of the Marine Corps in terms of like Special Operations Command. And it's just different. It's different out here. It's very different than it is in those other areas of the world doing those other things. And if you don't have a solid process, if you try to wing it, then you'll probably end up getting screwed over like I did many times, and a lot of money, so much money, everything, so many times. So just make sure that you have a couple of good questions to ask. One question that I like to ask now is I want people to tell me about a challenge that they faced in the time in which they overcame that challenge, or maybe they didn't even overcome the challenge, but what's a lesson that they learned from a very hard period of their life? You know, somebody screwing you over, somebody cheating on you, or being in a relationship, et cetera, something. And if the answer of the person is one about growth and internal reflection and how they were responsible for the situation, no matter how crazy it is for somebody to pass. A meteorite fell on my family. Well, I learned that I shouldn't, have put my family in that type of a position, living in that place. I should have worked harder, made more money, and, had a big mansion or whatever it is. But that's the level of accountability that you want to look for in people. And if their answer is something of blame shifting or focus shifting to another person or an external circumstance, well, that's a big red flag. And I will no longer do business with somebody who answers that question in that way. And it's not necessarily like I always just ask, tell me about a story or something like that. But when you're talking with someone about like a service that they provide, like let's say marketing, because that's so huge. That's a fourth thing I wish somebody would have told me. Marketing and finance and sales. Yeah, you better have a good product, you better have a good skill. But those need to be real, heavy on everything that you do. But anyways, I digress back to if somebody's giving me selling me marketing services, contractor and potential employer, whatever, what I will do is, be talking to them about X, Y, Z, what's the message? How do they view the brand? What platforms they're going to use, how they're going to use those platforms, what the intricacies of each platform are, how they know this information based off of what experiences. And then when they're telling me about these experiences, I'll elicit a problem set question by asking something along the lines of, I've noticed with firearm stuff and meta, historically, I've had a lot of problems marketing and not getting shut down. Have you ever experienced anything like that? And what they'll do is they'll tell you, well, yeah, we used to experience it a lot. But then what we ended up doing was realizing that in the policy, it said X, Y, and Z. So we contacted these people and we circumnavigated that problem. That's the person with the positive, self-accountable answer. The person who goes, just can't mention guns. Okay, that's the other person who's shift blaming to everybody else because now they can't find a resolution. There's always a resolution. So anyways, guys, hope that video gives you some clarity on the crazy amount of chaos that you're about to get into as you leave the military, as you start your own business. But I can tell you guys this, if you have a strong enough purpose, that right there is going to be everything. You need a strong enough purpose. I was thinking about myself before I even decided to record this video. Just a year ago, I was thinking about myself and how different I was. And, I'm almost 38, 37 back then. It's not like crazy difference in terms of like length of time. It's only been a year, but man, have I just had the shit kicked out of me so consistently for so long. I mean, years, guys, years. You're just constantly getting pounded by things going wrong all day. And the pounding really comes from the stress of not having money to feed your family or to provide for a home. I mean, to really do a goddamn thing at all because you're so broke and you're constantly just like busy working, but you're broke. And every day that happens, you just get your ass kicked. And so your purpose will drive you through that, like your deep purpose. What's your company mission? What's your vision as we say entrepreneur, but let's be real. Most people are self-employed. I know I damn for sure am trying to work my way out of that. But what's your vision for the world? And if you've got a good one, that'll give you purpose. You won't want to kill yourself. And maybe you can help a lot of people. All right. Take care.